Okay, here's the update on my 1929 Excelsior Super X Super Sport model. Got the fender on, got my big red X, got a part of a fender, just like KJ. Just threw some flat black paint on it. Still have my brakes on. Not sure what I'm going to do, if I'm going to remove those for racing, but sure is nice to test it around the block. Nice to stop. I'm doing a few race prep items. One of them, I want to get rid of my original clutch pedal, which has a heel, and I've got a reproduction pedal here, which I put some speed holes in it, appropriate for racing. And I'm going to mount it out a little bit so I can get my foot on it better. I need more of an offset. So I'm going to take off the friction washers and put in this bronze bushing spacer and a lock nut. A longer pin, probably this one. A longer pin and a spring. The spring's not strong enough, so got another one someplace. Maybe one of these. Digging through my pile, trying to find the best one. This one maybe is winning. So cut off the rocker heel. To get it out of the way of my boot, and I'm going to have a spring and only a front pedal, part of the pedal. Got my race prep, all my copper lines and a rubber line for the gas. We don't want that to break. I'm going to go around and start Loctiting all my nuts and bolts. This one already fell off, riding it around the block, and I'm going to put some heavy washers. I love using old original hardware. However, it's this lock washer's kind of worn out. So love original, but I've got a thick washer here, a couple of them, and a modern stainless lock washer, which will work. And I'll probably throw some black paint on that, flat black, and I'll also blue Loctite the nut. We don't want stuff falling off when I'm going around the track. Something silly like this would put me in the pit. One year I lost a clevis pin on my clutch pedal, and I lost it at the start, so I was out for the race. So that's why I'm going to use a long clevis pin. I'll drill another hole in that, put a cotter pin, and then this hole will be for the spring. So I get double coverage there. I'll probably take off some of this front brake stuff. I've got my big red X. I'm happy. I've got a GoPro camera so I can get some track footage. It's worked out well. I was going to put it up here, and I still might. I've got to work out some number plates, maybe a couple of hose clamps around the barrel here, and a big piece of aluminum. Not sure yet. Throttle's ready. However, I will put a little spring on the carb just to hold it back to idle. If I go ahead, there's full throttle. I've got a stopper for that. It's wide open. But when I go back, I've got just a little bit. I want to keep some force on that screw on the post to keep me at idle. I'll start Loctiting everything. I've got a new chain and sprockets. These are just for testing. Standard chain, 530. I'm going to put a 520 chain on here with thinner sprockets for racing. This has been thinned. You can see it's got a shoulder here. And not sure what this combination has worked great for me in the past. However, I may change it up, put a 20 on the front, maybe a 31 on the rear. Anyway, I'll go ahead and take some zip ties, put my number plates on. I'll probably put a number plate right here. And any cables, put some zip ties so I don't burn my spark cables there. Everything seems tight. I'll Loctite things like this, cable tie downs, because we don't want those falling off. I've already got a lock nut on there. Nylocks. I'll double check all of this, all of these. Lock tight. I don't want anything coming loose. I may change out my foot starter. It's not meshing very well. It's about a half tooth there. Sometimes I got to go down with my hand and flip it around. There we go. See, got the right combination. But if I'm in a panic on the starting line and I stall out, I can't be doing that while everybody's waiting for me. I need to be ready. All these cotter pins need to be in place. Tighten up some of this slop in there. I need to cotter pin my my fork rockers. Cotter pins for here. I just put wire in temporarily till I'm ready for the cotter pins. Cotter pins I can only get 1-2 times use. So everything's looking good. It runs great. More on that later. But my seat's ready. I lowered it slightly and I moved it forward. For street, I'll move it back 2 inches, but for racing, I want it up here. I've got some little rubber bushings for my dash. The dash is empty, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the dash on empty, so it looks like a real bike, which it is. All right, got my bracket. I have to Loctite all of these parts. Don't want the fender coming loose. This will get Loctite. A little bit of rattle where I cut out for the chain guard. I'll put a little piece of hose right there, or some friction tape. All right, the rear stand will come off for racing. I was hoping to maybe mount for riding around town, but the geometry is not working out with the fender. So I'll have to leave these off and get a side stand later. And once again, for racing, maybe I'll take the brake off. I won't need that. All right, pipes are done. Got some nice nickel-plated pipes and some new exhaust pipe nuts here. Valves are adjusted. I'll be ready to race in a week.